Hey everyone, welcome back. This is What Elon Said, and today is March 14th. It's a Monday, and we have a lot to catch up on. Elon comments on world affairs, cryptocurrency, and even crows versus falcons. So we'll dive right into it. We've jumped back to Saturday, where all this started, and we have a tweet from Howard Altman saying, or quoting the Russian Defense Ministry, that the United States is training migratory birds to migrate from Ukraine to Russia and distribute bacteriological weapons, quote. And he just has one question: is that African or European birds? And then there's a little video of this Russian Defense Ministry saying this, I guess, to their people. And yeah, I guess Elon took note of the Monty Python reference there. Yes. And added his own meme of "little do they know birds aren't real," and it's just a meme of birds aren't real, wake up people, and how birds exactly aren't real with their microphone and cameras and inductive charging coil, etc.
Yes, it's just funny because this meme was initially put out there a couple months ago, making fun of conspiracy theories in general, and now it's actually part of a conspiracy theory that migratory birds are going. Of course, I don't know how you train birds just to migrate to one place. Interesting, with the biological weapon.
Yes.
Yes.
Or how you get them to carry coconuts.
That's true. Coconut.
How do they migrate carrying a coconut? It's just not possible. Physics. But yeah, I guess I'd say be careful of making fun of conspiracy theories with another conspiracy theory, unless you want that one to become a conspiracy theory. So
correct. That's it.
Wild times we're living in.
Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah. All right, so here we have a celebration. It's the 20th anniversary today of SpaceX. It was founded in 2002. So can you believe it? 20 years. Elon looking very happy here. We have, he's the only one that looks happy, this excited. I don't know if the employees were forced to celebrate or what was going on, but very excited, and everyone is very fashionably dressed. That is GQ shot I've ever seen one.
For sure.
But congratulations. And Elon said, what did he say?
Says, I love the mariachi.
I love the mariachi.
Canta mariachi. At least I believe that's right. Translate tweet here. And yeah, I love the mariachi.
I love it.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
And this is before Elon switched to the black shirt.
Yeah. Yeah, he's come a long way in his fashion expression.
Yes.
Interesting. I mean, this is a very unique picture, just sparse, empty room with a mariachi band. Elon very excitedly dancing here, and the other employees, yeah, looking a little bit awkward. The whole scene is very awkward, actually. But,
it's very awkward.
But I think expressive of just how far SpaceX has come. 20 years.
Amazing. And when I see these things like that, it's 20 years that they've been around. What I always think forward, like, what is the 40th anniversary going to be like? Oh, yeah. At that point, will it be in the moon, Mars? I don't know, just space tourism flying around left and right. Who knows? It's amazing. I saw the other day, there's only 10 people in space right now.
Really?
Yeah.
So, and there's only been, I don't know what, 100 or a couple hundred? I forget what the number is.
800, less than 1,000.
Okay,
yeah.
Less than 1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
That have been up there ever
in the last 50 years. That's it.
In the last 300 billion years, you know. Well, wait, Earth isn't that old. I don't want to go too deep into this, but you got to correct me when I throw out random crazy numbers like that.
Yeah. That's right.
But yeah, great success story. Highly recommend Liftoff from Eric Berger, I believe his name is.
Oh, yes.
About the formation of, in the early days of SpaceX.
Yes.
All right, so next up here, we have a picture from Archaeology and Art of some cuneiform tablets, cylinder seals, and other artifacts that when looked at from this angle, look suspiciously like a bowl of cereal. And Elon responded with the forbidden cereal. Yes, because I don't think you'd want to eat these.
No, they might be stale after 4,000 to 5,000 years.
Yeah. So we've really come. I guess we've gone backwards in time by dumbing down our cereal, sadly.
Yes.
Without words written on them in Sanskrit.
Yes, we have soup though, vegetable soup, but yes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, alphabet soup, but not the cereal.
Pope of Muscanity, though, responds and says, milk first or cereal first, which is a strange question that most people probably have not contemplated. And Elon says, well, cereal, but maybe I've been doing it wrong all this time. I know it's bad for you, but sugared cereal is amazing. I have to agree with him there. That's very one habit I've not been able to break over the years.
Yes, it's hard. It's hard. So easy and tastes so good.
It does. Good way to start the day off.
Yes. Here we have just Elon threw this out there. I think he started this, just 15 decisive battles of the world. So he, I guess, read this book. This book is the 15 decisive battles of the world, and people listed what they thought were the most decisive, their own opinions. It seems like Elon is either he's reading them now or thinking about it with current events of historical war situations. It's it's interesting, and I'm sure as soon as he listed this book and Eva Fox posted the cover, the book sold out, I'm sure. So we'll see what happened.
Could be, but I read a little bit about it. Elon says it's got insightful analysis ensconced in eloquent prose. But yeah, it is literally that. It details 15 decisive battles dating all the way back to about 500 BC in ancient Greece. All the way through the battle, from to Waterloo.
Yep. Yeah, I wonder why they stopped at Waterloo. I guess we'd have to read the introduction to the book.
Well, it's an old book. It was written in the 1800s, I think.
Now I know why. They didn't know about the future battles.
Yeah, published in 1851.
Interesting.
So, yeah, just another note about Elon's kind of fascination with history and particularly military history, which we've talked about before on this podcast. But
and then he had an interesting comment there about the that it's worth reading. There's a danger to the United Earth in that.
Yeah, you're right.
They result in a collective that is destroyed, like civilizations rise and fall. And he's saying if it's a collective Earth, will either atrophy or fall if it's just one civilization. You want many different civilizations.
Yes. I believe we'll get to that. Did I skip over that? But
it was there.
Let's see. Yeah, it might have been in this section.
It's okay.
Yeah, here you go. So Pope of Muscanity said it's good. Well, this is in response to this one, which is Serene asks, what's the best history book you recommend, Elon? And he replies and said, The Story of Civilization, especially books 2 and 11. So this actually is an 11-part series, all of which look like rather thick books about the story of civilization. And it's written by Will and Ariel Durant, which is a husband and wife team, over a period of 4 decades. From 1935 to 1975.
A lot of reading.
Yes. My understanding is Elon's a pretty avid reader.
He has a lot of time on his hands, so I understand how he's able to spend so much time reading.
Yeah, it really is interesting to gain insight into like what he reads, but also to your point, how does he consume this much information?
I don't know.
Plus, he's got 7 kids now.
Yeah,
and also be a good parent.
Yes.
But so these books, 11 series, book 2 is about medieval times, and then book 11 is European history from 1789 to 1815, I think, which was the Battle of Waterloo. So like French Revolution and the era of Napoleon. So yeah, and then he goes on to say a couple other things about it, like you just said. And let's see if I can find that. Yeah, here we go. So Pope of Muscanity says, I wish people read more history. It's not just about not repeating it. It's actually about learning from it what works and what doesn't. It's about understanding our place in space and time on that blue marble. And he says a study of history is his favorite. And yeah, Elon responds here with always worth reading about the many civilizations that have risen and fallen, lessons we should take to heart. There is a danger to a united Earth in that it may result in a collective fall or ossification of civilization. Very interesting take there.
Yeah, it's always good to hear his perspective. All right, we got a lot going on this week. So what do we have? What else do we have here? We have. What
did I skip here? Here we go.
There you go. So we have Tesla FSD Beta 10.11 was out. Tesla already gave what the big notes are. There are a number of things, but Elon pointed out vector lanes in a particular significant architectural improvement to Tesla AI. So, Tesla, the vector lanes apparently is it's able to tell the minutia of changes, whether bicycles going past or anything is little changes in the lanes coming together. Basically, it's improving its ability to see. So that's one perspective. Yeah. I haven't seen the feedback yet on how 11 is, but one note he did have, it might be a little later, but we'll do it now, is that people are asking if the approval level is reduced. Mm-hmm. When will people get it? And he feels, right up there, actually, it's if this version performs well, we can probably lower the minimum safety score to 95. So they're actually, it seems like they feel it's safer now. And because of that, they're lowering the level that people will need to use it, which is a lot of confidence in how the product's improving.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds like a lot of improvements. I think that it's only being sent out to employees with Teslas right now. So before it goes wide release to all the beta users,
yes,
it's just being tested with the employees right now.
Okay,
but
I'm
yeah,
sure soon enough.
I mean that.
Yeah,
you got a FSD pilot saying here that the peasants are getting restless and really want a more widespread beta accessibility, I guess. That's right. For requesting users. But yeah, some good improvements. It sounds exciting. Next up, we have Scott Galloway. Not sure if you're familiar with him. If you are, I'll let you chime in here. Best I can tell is he's a marketing professor at NYU. But, okay. He's doubling down on the most innovative payment technology and store of value, US dollar, and then an eagle. And Galley of Hyperchange responds and says, didn't think I could be any more bearish on the US dollar until I saw this tweet. And Elon got a kick out of that with a chuckling emoji.
I don't know if he disagrees with him on a lot of things or doesn't respect him. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I don't even know how that would have ended up getting to Galley, really, unless he just doesn't like this guy.
And Elon's laughing. This guy's getting piled on there.
Yeah. So I mean, I've gone to his page. I mean, he looks like a generally optimistic guy in terms of what he's communicating.
Yes.
But I think somewhere along the way, he probably had
some words.
Yeah, some words, or expressed some skepticism about crypto or innovation in general. And not in a good light nowadays.
Okay.
All right. Here's a big one here. We have this. What are your thoughts about probable inflation rate over the next few years? What do you think, Mark?
Well, it's interesting. He's asking this, but he's also giving from his perspective of what's happening in Tesla and SpaceX. They're seeing significant increase in that grains and commodities are going to rise. I totally agree that I didn't agree before this war, but I thought the inflation would go down. But because of what's happening now, because the particular two countries that it's happening with, they supply between the two of them so much of the grain and so much of the raw material and oil of the world that it's just going to have astronomical effects. That prices are just going to explode. Much more outside of the U.S. U.S. is going to increase, but just Europe, Middle East, China, especially, it's really going to get out of control, I feel. But we'll see what happens. Elon's bringing it up. He's giving a little warning that their prices are going up. Their costs are going up, at least.
Yeah. So, I mean, just in response to this initial tweet here, he uses just crowdsourcing thoughts on inflation. And you really have a who's who of Tesla Twitterverse responses here. You have Ross Gerber. I saw Meet Kevin in there. Of course, we have Michael Saylor here, who said that the answer is Bitcoin. And Elon is like, well, it's not entirely unpredictable that you would reach that conclusion.
That's right.
But he gives his take here, which is, as a general principle, for those looking for advice from this thread, it's generally better to own physical things like a home or stock in companies you think make good products than dollars when inflation is high. I still own and won't sell my Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Doge for what it's worth.
Yep. Interesting. Oh, that's a good point of view. To an extent, it is true, but you have to own the physical things are better, but it also depends which of those physical things you own.
Sure. And depends on which companies too. And just because they make a good product doesn't mean stock price is going to be a good,
absolutely,
or the stock is going to be a good store of your value, your dollars.
Correct.
So very difficult to figure out where to put your money, but just highlighting some of the inflation struggles and these supply chain and commodity struggles. And I don't know, sometimes you got to wonder, like, is he just providing some framework for which to have the earnings call, or to establish some expectations, right?
Maybe. I mean, usually he's not, I don't find him doing that in general, but it could be. And he also mentioned that SpaceX is feeling it, but it is a good question of why is he bringing this up, or is it just inflation is a topic now? And, in some ways he's asking the questions at first and he's just saying that we are, but yeah, you never know. You never know if that is setting the stage. It's a good point.
Yeah. I don't think he'd do anything to try and manipulate the audience or anything, but just, setting expectations about earnings and the company's capabilities during these times. They've done pretty well with supply chain in the past, but adding inflation on top of that could challenge them.
It definitely could. And so next up, Elon was really just giving a nice comment, positive after the inflation scare below, that Zach said he just did a 400-mile drive up the California coast. It's beautiful. The car drove well. It's just all the positives about the Tesla S here. Beautiful picture. Kind of wish I was doing this drive in a Tesla S. Be fantastic. And then Elon responded saying Model S and X are sublime. That is just a beautiful ride. So it's just a little nice touch there.
Yeah. All right, here we have okay, so that's about last one. Here's an interesting meme.
You passed one.
Yeah, that was the response to Michael Saylor.
Oh, okay. So go ahead. Next up.
So we have a meme. Who knows whether he created it or found it or whatever, but it's the guy with "I support the current thing," and a number of different flags representing different initiatives in the back, and then he's waving a little Ukrainian flag. So Elon always pointing out the people's wokeness, and I guess just kind of the humor of human behavior.
Yes, I thought it was interesting, and I don't think he's poking fun at like, oh, everyone's around the Ukraine cause now, but I think he's saying it's just saying you support it does not mean anything of being on like the right side of a popular discussion. It's, you know, action speaks louder than words. Yes. In a way, that's what I think he's saying. That the yes, just the wokeness doesn't do anything. It's action that makes the difference.
Yep. So a pretty consistent message there on that one. And here's a little bit more. This meme of Netflix waiting for the next war to end to make a movie about a Black Ukraine guy who falls in love with a transgender Russian soldier. Just Netflix adding fuel to the fire, I guess.
Yes, it's funny.
But then Bitcoin Archive says, but the soldier is polyamorous. It doesn't work out, but they make the sequel anyway. Make a laugh out of that.
It is true. Another woke making fun of it. And then here we have someone making fun of Elon, and he thought it was funny to make fun of himself. That is Crypto Burb or something. He says, I swear to God, it's Elon Musk now. Laughing my ass off. When you get up after spending 46 minutes on the toilet looking at memes, and they show like an old guy trying to get up, he's so stiff.
Oh man, that is.
But he can laugh at himself, which is good.
Yeah, making fun of the fact that he uses Twitter on the toilet and that he's getting old, I guess. Next, he says there's a beauty to the biological substrate. So, interpretation. I don't know. I don't have much to add to this one, other than
I think that substrate is just the environment that things live. So I'm
just like the world.
Must be watching a nature film with his kids or something. I'm not sure. It's interesting.
Maybe. But yeah, I tend to agree. Don't really have an opinion on it or how to connect it to anything else that he said.
That's right.
Yeah.
Next up here we have Elon says, by the pricking of my thumbs. I think this is from Macbeth, which he's probably watching this week with a lot of people. So I think he's just doing by the pricking of my thumbs, with something wicked this way comes. So I don't know if he's referring to the Russian war or inflation, or just he's amused by the movie, or he just thought of it. I don't know.
I mean, it could be the book too. I don't know. Could be the Macbeth movie he's watching, but
well, they have the Washington Macbeth just came out.
Not really?
Macbeth, sorry, not Macbeth.
Some Shakespearean play.
Yeah, he has the Coen brothers and Denzel Washington have a Shakespeare movie out.
Well, they did the Julius Caesar one.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Wasn't that? Okay. Well, anyway, yes, a little bit cryptic here, but it is a line from Macbeth and does not seem to indicate anything good. Message of foreboding.
Yes.
So I don't know. Maybe it's even in reference to his own next tweet, which is that I hereby challenge Vladimir Putin to single combat. Stakes are Ukraine.
He puts it in Russian, huh?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So throwing down the gauntlet here.
Wow.
To try and get Putin into the ring to solve this once and for all and move on from this situation.
For hand-to-hand combat. Yes.
And he follows that up with, do you agree to this fight at Kremlin? And as the Kremlin handle.
Can you imagine if they said yes and this was all how it was solved?
Yeah, so I don't know if that would be good or bad, but here we have a follow-up tweet from I'm Just a Girl saying, will you be surprised if this challenge is accepted? And he responds, all of this is in Russian, so I had to do some translation here, but it would be an honor, he says, to battle Putin in the ring.
That would be the highest rated TV show ever.
And going further, someone responds and says, did you think this through, or am I missing something? And Elon says, I am absolutely serious. And yeah, a whole lot of back and forth conversation going on here.
The bear.
Yeah. Yes. And there's a few other comments here about how this fight would go. So there's all sorts of predictions about who would win this fight in the ring. And someone says this fight would be over in 10 seconds. Just depend on how much damage Elon would want to do and how fast. Nothing else. Elon is also 19 years younger. And Elon says, yeah, pretty much. And then we have Tesla Mania, who responds and says, and this too, that Elon once lifted one of the world's top sumo wrestlers who is over 350 pounds. And Musk said, I went full adrenaline rush and managed to lift the guy off the ground. He let me win that first round and then he beat me. I think my back is still screwed up. And he responds to this snapshot here and says, yeah, I did manage to throw the world champion sumo wrestler, but at the cost of smashing a disc in my neck that caused me insane back pain for 7 years.
Wow, man, that is
yeah, not good.
Serious. So, I guess he's serious about this.
And I don't advocate for violence, but I guess you got to stand up for.
I don't think it's going to happen, but if it did, it would be the way all future wars would be fought. Just the two people deciding the fate of millions.
Yeah.
In a MMA cage.
I'm not sure, but I guess Elon's taken a book from Zelensky's playbook here, and or a page from his playbook, and he's operating with balls of steel right now, I would say.
That's it.
But, I think he's referring back to his youth, which I believe he was quite bullied, and he's learned how to deal with bullies, it seems.
Not taking any bullies in the world at all anymore. That's it.
That's it.
Good stuff.
Well,
that's it. Let's to be seen, to see what happens. The reply is out there. We'll see what Putin says next.
Yeah. So I think this is also it for us. We'll wrap it up there for today. And we will catch up with everybody tomorrow on what Elon said.